What's up, everybody? It is Selly, and we have another project update for you. We've got this Contender back here. As you see, we're already going to town on it, getting things ready. We're getting ready to do the Lumishore underwater lights here, getting those all installed. But before we show you this, let's talk a little bit about this project and where we have been and what's been going on. This boat came in, it already had a actually really nice exterior Awlgrip job on it. Now we're basically doing everything else. So from the rub rail to the rub rail on the other side. Now, in order to do that, we also want to go ahead, we pulled the hatch out, we put a new fuel tank in there, we collaborated with Safe Harbor's Hawthorne Cove. We went ahead, we pulled the fuel tank out here, they went ahead and put the new fuel tank in, and then they went and gave this a beautiful Awlgrip paint job, including the non-skid, the smooth, and it turned out really nice, as you can see here from the video. So now that that's all done, now we've got to reassemble this entire boat and play, we've done Napoleon boat apart a bunch. Well, now we're playing Napoleon put the boat back together. You can see here all of the pipework has been powder coated here. So now we've gone ahead, that's all done. We got to re-rig it. We've got a new soft top that's going on here. You can see the leaning post here has also been powder coated. We've got new cushions going on. We've gone ahead, we've changed this, cleaned this up with the white starboard there. We've got our seat backs right there. So we've got all of that going on. So that's a lot right there. Like I said, we're going to leave them to do the underwater lights, get that going. I think the motors are going to be getting hung here really soon. Let's hop inside and see what else is going on. All right, so now we are on board. As you take a look behind me here, guys, you're going to see we have everything, protective padding and taped off and masked all off, because that is that beautiful Awlgrip paint job. We don't want to mess that up now that we're in the home stretch of playing Build-A-Boat here and getting this all taken care of. So what we talked about here, guys, is we did put the new fuel tank in. As you can see here, we worked with Safe Harbor's Hawthorne Cove. I know I sound like a broken record, but they went ahead and put this new fuel tank in, and they've also gone ahead and put in two new rig tubes. You can see here, we've got a small one and a large one, and we've gone ahead, we've got all of our wires already run and labeled. We've got our wires going out on each side. That's going to be for our Lumishore under gunnel lighting, as well as for our stereo. Now's the time to get all these wires run while the boat's still blown apart and we haven't put it all back together. So we've got all of that going on right there. And then if we take a look a little bit further back towards the back side here, we have our anti-siphon valves on the fuel tank, and those lead out to a pair of the Ray Core fuel filters. And if you look, you can see those are in line with this hatch right here. That is so we can still have an eye towards serviceability, guys. If you're doing all this, you don't have to land it back in the exact same spot. If there's a better spot to land it, we do that, making it more serviceable, because if it's serviceable and it's easy, you'll do it. If it's not, you won't. It'll go on the deferred maintenance plan, and it's going to end up costing more down the road. So now's the time to take care of those kind of things. Then we take a look in here. On that same kind of mindset, guys, is we've got all new plumbing, live wells. You can start to see actually they're pushing the wires in right there for the underwater lighting as well. You can see we kept the B175 medium transducer right there. That transducer worked really well for the client. There was no need to replace it. We put it on the tester. It was all good. So why bother changing that, spending money where you don't need to? Spend it in the right places. So what did we do instead? We worked with the team at Hawthorne Cove and their composites team, and they built us a pocket. And now we have a Garmin PS70 transducer, guys, and that's going in there. We've been talking a lot about those transducers lately, and this is just one more install of that. By doing it in a pocket, we're getting rid of that fairing block, and it's not going to hang down and create drag and noise in the water while we're running the boat. So we've got all that going on back here. Well, this is all opened up. Pretty soon, I think we're going to be hanging the motors, because we want to get the motors on before we hang the deck, so we have good access in here to bolt the motors all up. So that's going to be coming soon with the pair of the Merc 200s on there. And that leads us to the console here. We've gone ahead and we've glassed in a majority of things. This is actually going to be getting a 24-inch Garmin display. And then we've gone ahead and we've filled in the extra holes. You can't really see behind the covering here, but you can see like that right there, still for the helm. And we've got our binnacle right there. You can see here we've gone ahead and done the remote battery switches. We've got something neat in store for that one as far as where we're going to mount those, so it kind of remains clean and slick on it. And now if I take a look behind me here, John is actually coming out of the console, so let's hop in there and see what he's been up to. All right, well, the old man's doing boat yoga behind us here, stretching himself out, because he's been living in this space right here, doing an awesome job. So we've got, starting off, our remote battery switches and our charging relays right here. Normally those would be located down there, but we said, you know what, you open the hatch up, be really nice to not have to bend over if you need to manually turn these on if the RBS switches aren't working. So we've got that there. Those are all run down to our proper ABYC fusing, and everything is nice and cleanly labeled here, starboard, port, house, and those are all going to run over. We've got our negative bus distribution right there. We've got our 24-hour power right there. We've got, those are the wiring for now for our RBSs. You can see everything's nicely laid out, clean, straight, zip ties ready to land to pull the wires over. You can see this side right here for batteries, and we've got this side over here for batteries as well. Start to see our fuse panel right here. We've got our Blue Seas fuse panel. All the wiring's already brought over. Everything is already all labeled up. And we take a look over here. We mentioned earlier about the lighting install. Well, this is getting the Lumishore, and again, we're just keeping everything nice, neat, and clean, landing it all right there. And this is way easier to do while we have the boat completely blown apart. So that, guys, is what's going on this build. John's going to keep stretching himself out, then he's going to cram himself back in here, and we'll have another update for you guys real soon. Peace.